Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Financial Wealth. In today's video, we're going to be going through 6 of the highest paid dead people. But guys, real quick, before we can get into the countdown, I need to let you guys know that we'll be picking one lucky subscriber every month to win a shout out at the start of a video. All you must do to enter is subscribe to our channel, like the video, and comment down below saying I subscribed. Good luck guys. Now without any further ado, let's get into this video. Number 6. Tom Petty. Tom Petty was an American singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, record producer, and actor. He was the lead singer of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, formed in 1976. He previously led the band Mudcrutch. He was also a co-founder of the late 1980s supergroup The Traveling Wilburys, consisting of Bob Dylan, George Harrison, Jeff Lynne, and Roy Orbison. Petty recorded a number of hit singles with the Heartbreakers and as a solo artist. In his career, he sold more than 80 million records worldwide, making him one of the best-selling musical artists of all time. He and the Heartbreakers were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2002. Petty died on October 2nd, 2017, 1 week after the completion of the Heartbreakers' 40th anniversary tour. Just like Prince, Petty died of a fentanyl overdose. Petty's family named a litany of health problems that musicians faced, including emphysema, knee problems, and most significantly, a fractured hip. The hip injury worsened, the family explained, while Petty was on his most recent tour. On the day he died, he was informed his hip had graduated to a full-on break, and it's our feeling the pain was simply unbearable and was the cause for his overuse of medication. And Petty's death contributed to a huge spike in album sales. He pulled in $20 million in the last year, making him number 6 on our countdown. Number 5. Bob Marley. Bob Marley was a Jamaican singer-songwriter who became an international musical and cultural icon, blending mostly reggae, ska, and rocksteady in his compositions, starting out in 1963 with a group called The Wailers. He forged a distinctive songwriting and vocal style that would later resonate with audiences worldwide. The Wailers would go on to release some of the earliest reggae records with producer Lee Scratch Perry. After The Wailers disbanded in 1974, Marley pursued a solo career upon his relocation to England, that culminated in the release of the album Exodus in 1977, which established his worldwide reputation and elevated his status as one of the world's best-selling artists of all time. With sales of more than 75 million records, Exodus stayed on the British album charts for 56 consecutive weeks. It included 4 UK hit singles: Exodus, Waiting in Vain, Jamming, and One Love. In 1978, he released the album KYA, which included the hit singles Is This Love and Satisfy My Soul. The Greatest Hits album Legend was released in 1984, 3 years after Marley died. It subsequently became the best-selling reggae album of all time. In 1976, Bob Marley survived an assassination attempt by 3 gunmen at his home in Hope Road in Jamaica. Just 5 years later, he was taken down by a malignant melanoma originating in his toe. The melanoma could have easily been cured through surgery, but Marley refused because his Rastafarian religion prevented one man from cutting another with a blade, even if that blade was a scalpel. Though he died long ago, Marley still continues to pull in massive sales as well, as merchandising such as the Marley Beverage Company. His estate made $23 million last year, making him number 5 on our countdown. Number 4. Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was a German-born physicist who developed the special and general theories of relativity and won the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921 for his explanation of the photoelectric effect. Einstein is generally considered the single most influential physicist of the 20th century. Near the beginning of his career, Einstein thought that Newtonian mechanics was no longer enough to reconcile the laws of classical mechanics with the laws of the electromagnetic field. This led him to develop his special theory of relativity. During this time at the Swiss Patent Office in Bern, Switzerland, however, he realized that the principle of relativity could also be extended to gravitational fields, and he published a paper on general relativity in 1916 with his theory of gravitation. To put it more simply, Einstein made one of history's most significant scientific discoveries while working a desk job at a patent office. It's well documented that Einstein did poorly in school and struggled financially until his work was recognized by an international community. After a lifetime of service, Einstein died of an aneurysm in 1955. He was relatively wealthy when he died at age 76, but he continues to make money on posters and memorabilia. This makes him the number 4 highest paid dead person with $10 million in the last year alone. Number 3. John Lennon. John Lennon was of course a co-leader of the British rock group The Beatles. He was also an author and graphic artist, solo recording artist and collaborator with Yoko Ono on recordings and other art projects. Lennon's fun-loving working-class parents married briefly and declined to raise their quick, sensitive, gifted son. Separated dramatically from each of them by age 5, he was raised strictly in Wolfson, a Liverpool suburb, by his maternal aunt, Mimi Smith, whose husband died during Lennon's adolescence, as did his biological mother, who had taught him to play the banjo. Such circumstances were not uncommon in the wake of World War II, but in Lennon they generated anger that he supplemented with brilliance and difficulty and an intense need for human connection. At age 21, he married the supportive traditional Cynthia Powell, whom he divorced in 1968. At age 28, he married the independent, unconventional Yoko Ono, and much earlier, at age 16, he found a skiffle band that evolved into the Beatles, the most important musical group of the second half of the 20th century. Famously, Lennon was shot and killed by Mark David Chapman outside of Dakota Hotel where Lennon was living. It comes as no surprise that Lennon's royalties from the Beatles and his solo career are still worth quite a lot. His estate earned $12 million last year all alone. Number 2. Dr. Seuss. Theodore Seuss Geisel, better known by his pen name Dr. Seuss, was a writer and cartoonist who published over 60 books. He published his first children's book, and to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street under the name of Dr. Seuss in 1937. Next came a string of bestsellers, including The Cat in the Hat and Green Eggs and Ham. His rhymes and characters are beloved by generations. Over the course of his career, Dr. Seuss published more than 60 books. Some of his more well-known works include How the Grinch Stole Christmas, The Cat in the Hat, Green Eggs and Ham, Dr. Seuss's ABC, The Lorax, Horton Hears a Who, Are You My Mother, Fox and Socks, One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish, and Oh the Places You'll Go. In the early 80s, Seuss was diagnosed with oral cancer after a dentist discovered it on his tongue. Although he ended up having surgery to help prevent the cancer from spreading, a few years later, Seuss had a jaw infection that doctors were unable to cure. Then on September 24th, 1991, Seuss died at the age of 87. Obviously, Seuss's books are still extremely popular and his grossed more than $16 million last year alone. Number 1. Prince Rogers Nelson. Prince Rogers Nelson, better known by his stage name Prince, was born and raised in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Prince was known for his electric work, flamboyant stage presence, extravagant fashion sense, use of makeup, and wide vocal range. Prince was also a multi-instrumentalist who was considered a guitar virtuoso. He was also skilled at playing the drums, percussion, bass, keyboards, and synthesizer. His innovative music integrated a wide variety of styles including funk, rock, R&B, new wave, soul psychedelia, and pop. He sold over 100 million records worldwide, making him one of the best-selling music artists of all time. He won 8 Grammy Awards, 6 American Music Awards, a Golden Globe Award, and an Academy Award for the 1984 film Purple Rain. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2004. Ever since the legendary musician Prince passed away on April 21st, 2016, there's been much speculation about the cause of his tragic and sudden death. Nearly 6 weeks after he was found dead at his Minneapolis estate, public reports revealed that the cause of Prince's death was an accidental overdose of fentanyl, the ultra-strong opioid that's caused an addiction crisis across the United States. In the 2 years following Prince's death, his album sales had only increased and his estate earned a whopping $18 million last year alone. Well, there you have it, guys. That was 6 of the highest paid dead people. If you did enjoy this video, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.